Hi, Ethan.
Hi, Vishwas.
Hey, hi, Jitin.
Hi, Sai. Hi,
Uh,
Derek.
Jitin, the questions that you gave, I just had some questions on that. So if
Okay, yeah. Can you
uh,
share your screen?
yeah, I'll share my screen. Just 1 second. So I'll just go through the questions. Let me open that as well. Uh, so when I loaded the table, I mean, the first thing was to change the columns, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
wait, is this the table? Yeah, this is the one. So I mean, the first row, it just became the column. So this is fine, right? That's what you were asking for.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay. Because like when I loaded the table, the initial table came like this. All the column names were fine already.
Yeah. So the first thing is, okay, we just keep the columns which you record, okay. Remove all
Yeah.
of the columns.
Yeah. So instead of these, I took these as the column names as per the question, I think. So that's what I did. After that, it was splitting, I mean, changing the data types of all the columns. So that is fine. I mean, I just wanted to ask there that if there is like a shorter way to do it, how I did it, I selected all the columns and then just like, control and clicked on this and then change the data type. But if there is any method or one of these functions that we can use to do that, that would be helpful.
So basically we have to do that only, okay. So
That
can
only.
you, yeah,
Yeah,
can you go back to your source once?
sure.
Yeah, here. So let me tell you. So here you want the date on the rows and region names on the columns, right?
Oh, okay. No, I did not. Wait, I think I misunderstood the question then. It looks like wrong headers is in the header row.
So
The
did
head.
you try unpivot or pivot one?
Uh, I think this is the unpivoted one. Whatever data that you shared it, I just loaded it and I went to the Power Query session, the transform session
Okay.
straight away. So that's how it
Okay.
loaded it initially.
So first, so suppose whatever columns we need, okay, we need only those columns first. Like if you want to remove area code, okay, first remove
Yeah,
those columns from the list.
yeah, sure. So I will wait. Where did it go?
You can keep one more
Remove
thing. You can keep sales volume.
sales volume again. That was not there. I think
If you
sales. If I just a
there will be
second.
some other thing, okay, we can choose
Yeah,
just cross.
sales volume. Sorry, yeah, this is
Yeah,
there.
it's there.
After I removed it, so let me. If we want to, yeah, this is another doubt I had. If I say, one of your questions was if you want to move it next to like the date and region name, so how do you move it?
You can directly, if you want, you can
Or
directly drag
just
it.
dragging and dropping, right?
Yes. But
Okay,
you don't
okay,
need to do like this, okay. What you have to
okay.
do is select sales volume,
Okay, just a second. Choose columns. Go to columns.
Choose column.
Sales volume.
Just press control button. Okay, sales volume.
Okay.
Region name.
Oh, wait.
It's not selecting.
No, it's not selecting. With control, it's not selecting.
Okay. Can you cancel it once?
Sure.
Can you select it from here? Like you can press control button and select.
Okay, just like this. Okay, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Date, region name.
Sales volume.
See where sales.
It will be there somewhere.
Sales volume, sales volume. Price.
I think okay.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
Remove other columns. Whatever columns we have selected, we need.
Yeah.
So now what you have to do is you have to click on region name and sales volume.
Okay.
And go to transform.
Transform.
And we have to do unpivot, right?
Okay, yeah, unpivot.
It's on top.
Yes, unpivot columns. Okay.
No. Go to that particular thing again.
Okay. Only selected columns?
Yes.
That's how it gives the output. Attribution sales.
Can you remove the last step once?
Sure.
Yeah, just select region name alone.
Okay. And unpivot.
Click on that options. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Review.
All right. So okay.
This is not the expected result actually. 1 second.
Okay. I'll unpivot this.
Let me show you once, okay?
Sure, I'll just stop sharing.
We have used this one, right? It's private HP admins. Yeah.
Yes.
So you have, okay. First, I'll just show you the pivoting first.
Okay.
So basically you are having 3 columns, right? First.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me take that. So it will be easy for you to understand. 1 second. So I need date column, region name, and sales volume, right?
Yes.
Sales volume. So I have selected those 3 columns. Remove. Oh, sorry. Remove columns. Remove other columns. So right now I have only 3 columns. So I need date on the rows, region name and sales volume on the columns.
Columns.
Right? So first, let me pivot. So on what basis values should be sales volume, right?
Yes.
The values needs to be displayed as sales. I mean, we have to show this sales volume as the values.
Values and region name as the
So
column.
this region name will be transformed. Use the
Okay.
names in the column region name to create new columns. You can see it here.
Okay. Oh,
So now
got it.
this is pivoting.
Got
We
it. Got it.
yeah.
Clear.
Similarly, see if you want to unpivot it, okay. See now we have changed it to again we have changed it to
Got it.
got it.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, maybe I read the question wrong because the unpivoting question wasn't given. So I did not do
Unpivot.
that. But it makes more sense
Yeah.
now. Now it answers my other questions, basically.
Okay. So this
Yeah.
is basically okay. So this is basically it is like I'll show you an example here.
Okay.
See, this is basically like we have an option in Excel, okay, like so
Pivot, right?
we have an option for pivoting. We have an option to pivot table like this.
Yes.
So basically what we'll do, so whatever things we need it in rows, we'll put it in rows. Okay. And region name, we need it in columns, right? We
Yeah.
put it in columns. Got it.
Yes.
And
Understood.
we have sales volume. Yeah, sales volume, we need it in values, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this part. See, this is how it works. Okay, this is how we need to create pivot table.
Understood.
Okay, yeah. So it's clear now, right? If you want, you
Yes.
can try.
It's clear. I tried it.
Okay,
It's working. Yep.
okay, fine. Yeah.
Yes, perfectly. Yeah, I think this was the issue, and then now, I mean, that's what I was when I was doing question number 13th. That's when I was getting error. It didn't make sense that okay, how would I sum numeric? I mean, text column. Now it makes sense, so it's fine.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll give more questions today, so you can try
Sure,
from your.
it would be helpful. Thank you.
So this is so today's session. Okay, we'll be covering data modeling. Data modeling is nothing but suppose if you want to combine, suppose if you want to create a relationship. Okay, see right now we have only one column. I mean one data set. Let me connect to other source. Suppose if you want to establish the relationship between the tables. Okay, I'll show you an example here. Okay, see if you want to create a relationship between different tables, then you have to go for data modeling in PowerBI. I'll show you an example here. See, so here basically I am what I'm looking for is order table, people table, and returns table. If you see here, okay, see in orders we have entire information. We have sales data, customer name. We have those city names, city state names. Everything is present in the orders table. See, we have sales data, profit data, discount, quantity. Everything is specified in the orders table. In people table, Okay, see, we have to correct this. It is showing column 1 and column 2, right? We have to keep first column as said as, first row as said as, something like that, something like that. So if you see here, for this region, okay, this is the, these all are the managers. For West region, Anna is the manager. For East, Chuck is the manager. So we can understand it from here. So if you want to get this data, if you want to get all this data together, okay, we have to go for relationship. See, even suppose, so here we can understand for this particular order ID, whether that that order is returned or not. Okay. So these all are the order IDs. So basically these all are the order IDs which is returned. See, I mean to say, see, you can see order ID here as well. So for some of the order IDs in this, okay, it is returned. Those orders are returned. So we can identify, if we create the relationship, we can analyze everything together. Okay, let me transform the data once, because now it is showing column 1, column 2 here. Here also column 1, column 2, right? First, we have to transform the data. So now that issue has been fixed. Like now we are having all proper column names. So let me remove all the relationships which is created by default. Yeah, now everything is single entity. Nothing is connected with the, like, you see here, okay, you can see all the tables. Here we can establish the connection. Okay, I'll show you how to establish the connection. Before that, let me show you an example here. Like suppose if I take anything from here, for an example, if I take region, person, so it is not taking at all because there's no relationship. Okay, so you can't display the data because PowerBI can't determine the relation between two or more fields, because currently there is no relationship between this order table and people table. Similarly, if I take anything from here, sometimes it will, if I count this, okay, see, if I show some value from here, so it is showing some value, but if you see here, okay, we can understand that it is wrong because everything is showing as 296, right? So basically it is wrong because there is no relationship between this order table and order ID, okay, like return statement. So if I establish, one second, I'll just increase the size of this. Yeah, so uh, so if you see here, everything is showing as 296. That is basically wrong. So let me go and create a relationship between order table and return statement. So this is order table. So we have what are the fields which we are having common? Order ID here, and we have order ID here as well in the orders table. So let me, so just drag and drop. Okay, just drag and drop order ID from orders to returns. So now it created a relationship. Okay, so if you see here, you can see that from returns one and which is going to the direction of orders, and it is showing us many. If you see the star, okay, this is nothing but it is showing one many. So that means it has created a relationship like one to many. Why it is created one to many? I'll explain it in detail as well. So let me go back to this thing. See, now I am getting all the relationship here. But still it is showing wrong. Okay, 1 second. See, what I have done is it was showing us one too many, right? But it was see, this is nothing but okay. See, if you see this arrow, this is nothing but cross filter direction. So it was showing a single. That means, see, we will be able to, we see if the cross, suppose if we take anything from orders and returns, okay, it won't filter in bidirectional way. It always keeps, suppose if I take anything from order ID and if I take anything from here, then it would have been worked. Okay, I'll just show you. If I take something from returns, see now it is showing 296, right? Because it is, I'll I'll show you the difference once. Yeah. So I have I have this return state. If I take anything from here and anything from orders, like let me take customer ID to this. See here, if you see here, okay, it is taking that correctly. You can see the different numbers over here because first we have taken returns from returns table. Okay, we have taken order ID and we have selected customer ID. Instead of customer ID, you can select anything, okay, anything you want. Let me take subcategory and take the count. See, now we can see the difference for this particular order ID. What is the count of subcategory ID? We have 3 for first row and 7 for. So it is correct actually because we have created the relationship in such a way. Like we have created in like from returns table to orders table. So it is the filtering direction is filtering. If you see the filtering direction of it is flowing from returns to orders. So that's the reason why here it is showing incorrect, because in this scenario what we have done is we have taken region from orders, and see we are taking like, okay, we are taking it in this manner. We are taking something from here, we are taking region from here and order ID from here. So it is like we are trying to achieve this thing in this order. Okay, orders table to returns table. But if you see if you see this arrow, okay, it is towards orders table. It is from returns to orders table. So we want so basically this is for filtering operation. The filtering operation, if you select this, if you select it in this manner, okay, it always the filtering direction will be returns to orders. If you want to change it, just double click on this down arrow. See, cross filter direction is there, right? You can change it to both. If you go back again, see, now it is coming correct, because now irrespective of the table, okay, it will work bidirectionally. Now it is bidirection. If you take anything from here or this table, it would be fine. Okay. So is it clear?
I just had one question. So whenever we are making ERD, so we need to have like a common key in both tables, right? That we're trying to check.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and I mean, and these both had order ID as their common key.
Order ID as the common key. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
See, this is my orders table and this is my returns table.
Yeah, order ID is fine. Okay. And this is denoting.
See, here it is like, okay, it is selected. You can see that it is highlighted.
Yes.
Order ID is highlighted from orders table. From returns table, it is highlighted order ID.
Got it. Okay. And the relationship, if the arrow which is being shown, that is pointing in both directions. So what would that mean?
That means, see, I'll explain it again.
Yeah.
Suppose if it is this is showing bidirectional, right?
Bidirectional. Okay.
Bidirectional in the sense we can have filters from any of these tables.
Okay.
I mean to say, suppose if I change it to single. See, now it is single direction, right? It is like suppose if I take anything from orders table first and returns table second, okay, then filtering won't happen properly, because the filtering happens from returns to orders, not from orders to returns. Because if you see the direction, okay, it is from returns to orders, right?
Yes.
So if you see here, if I take anything from orders, so let me select region. So here, if I take order ID in the column, and if I take the count, okay, count of this, you can see that everything is showing as 296, because we haven't established, okay, we haven't implemented anything. Like, this is basically filtering for filtering purpose, right?
Okay.
Basically we are taking a dimension from here and we are taking values from here. So we are trying to filter it in this way, orders to returns. But we have specified, okay, it is like order returns to orders.
Okay. Okay.
The filtering direction is specified as we have specified it as returns to orders.
Returns to orders.
What is?
Okay.
So if you see here, okay, we are getting values, but it is wrong. 296.
Okay. So that is just a random value it's generating,
Yeah,
right?
it is just random value. If you see, in most of the cases, if the relationship is not established, okay, we'll be getting in this manner. We'll be getting the same value throughout the. I mean, if you can understand it from. I mean,
yes.
If we haven't created any relationship between the tables, okay, then we'll be getting like this. We'll be getting random, not random values. It will be for every row. It will be the same value.
Okay.
And even if you see the total, okay, it is not the correct total, right?
Correct, totally.
Because it should be added up. But here it is showing 296. That means there is something wrong with our relationship.
Understood.
So if you change this particular direction to both, now we can take it from anything. Okay, first you can take it from returns order ID, and you can take anything from here from orders table, or you can take anything from orders table, and secondly you can take anything from the returns, whatever you want. It will work because the filtering happens in bidirectional way. See, now if you see the value, okay, it is changing, right? And the total, if you see the total, it is coming as 296. Previously, for each and every row we are getting it as 296, right?
Yeah, so it'll just counting all the rows and then giving the result that
Yes,
way.
exactly.
Now clear. Okay, it's clear. It's clear.
And if you have noticed, okay, see, you have noticed this, make this relationship active, right? This is nothing but, okay, see, we can have only one relation. Suppose if you want to create multiple relationship, okay, let me create. So here, what can be created? 1 second. Okay, I don't have any columns here, but I'll just map it with some other thing. Yeah, so I have created one more relationship here. See, I have created one more relationship, like returns to orders. Okay, I have created one more relationship between order ID and row ID, but there is no relation for sure. But I just shown this for an example. See, we can create multiple relationship between these tables. Okay, I mean to say, see, we have two. So now we have two relationships, but we can have only one active relationship. Make this relationship active. Active relationship, we can make it only one, but this is passive relationship. We can create a number of passive relationship. If you, but just remind this thing, okay, just remember this thing. We can have only one active relationship between the tables, but you can create a number of passive relationship between the tables. So the difference between this active and passive relationship, okay, it is like, see, it will be applicable only for filtering. I mean to say, see, when we choose that it is as active, let me remove this once. See, now this is active, right? This is active. This relationship is active. If I change it to inactive, I have disabled this. If I go back to my, see, again, the filtering is not happening. If I change this particular thing to, if I disable this option, the filtering is not happening again. You have noticed this, right? Even though it is bidirectional, it is not happening here. Because,
yes,
yeah, because the active relationship is, active relationship determines the filtering, okay? It will impact the filtering option. See, why do we need to make inactive relationship? Because as I told you, we can, in PowerBI, we can have only one active relationship, and rest of the things we can create it as passive. See, we can create calculated columns and measures, right? So if we want to establish the relationship, okay, like suppose, so let's assume that we have many columns here, and the first one you have created it as active. You have created first relationship, you have created it as active. First, you want one more relationship needs to be created here, there, but we as I told you, we can create only one active relationship, right? If you want to create one more relationship between these two tables, you have to create it as inactive. In that case, you can have, I mean, you can fix this. See, now the filtering is not happening properly. You can fix it only by through calculations. I mean to say, So we can create new measure and new columns, right? So when we are creating this, so I'll be showing those difference in the coming sessions. Like when we create the measures, okay, I can show you the difference. So when we create the measures only, we can establish this connection, this inactive, wherever it is showing us inactive, okay. When we create measure, we can create the relationship. We can filter that records, okay. Even though it is not showing here, even though it is not filtering here because of passive, we can change that particular thing in the measure thing. When we are creating the measure, we can change that particular functionality. We can filter those things. It will work over there. So if you want to enable, if you don't enable this, okay, if you don't enable this particular passive relationship, then we cannot make any changes to the measure. In the measure, we cannot establish the filtering criteria. Got my point?
Yes. I had another
Like,
question. Yeah, please
yeah,
go on. I'll ask it later. No problem.
yeah. I mean to say, now it's fine, right? Similarly, if I want to create one more relationship, let's assume that, okay, you want to create one more relationship between these two tables. You have other columns as well, and you want to establish one more relationship between these tables. So in that case, we cannot create active relationship one more time, right? It's already there. We have already created active relationship. So let's okay. So in this case, what will you do? You'll create a passive relationship. See, you'll create one more thing, like you'll create passive relationship. Now I have created a passive relationship. But the problem with passive relationship is we cannot filter it. We cannot show it as filtered data. The filtering won't happen in the passive relationship. The filtering can be enabled only in the measure. While creating the measure, we can use this particular passive relationship over there in the measure creation. Got my point?
Yes.
Okay. What was your question?
So now since we are, connecting the tables based on the similar column. Now, if I have, for example, in returns table, instead of order ID is just ID. So, I mean, the values are the same, the column names are different. So, like, how do we create a relationship in that case?
Suppose so it basically it looks only the data, okay, not the column names.
Oh, okay, got it. Great.
You don't need to check. I mean, column
So it
name
just
can be anything, but the
okay.
data should be same.
Data should be same. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, let me remove this one as well.
So Jitin, you're saying order ID can be labeled as ID, but the data within the ID should be same as the order.
Yeah, it can be anything. I'll show you that. Okay, I can rename it and show it to you once.
I'm also thinking, is this similar to how we would do, how we would use the join and then filter in SQL?
Yes. But the in transform, okay, while doing data transformation, you are doing the same operation, right?
Right, got it.
But that part is doing in the memory. It's not using the logical way. Suppose if you have huge data, then it will take a lot of time to process.
Yeah, this one is, I think, once we figure out the logic, it's easier. It's just that if, like Sam asked a good question, if the values are different in two tables and there is no direct relationship, then how do you build a relationship?
Yeah. So if you see here in returns, I have changed it to ID. Okay. Let me create. Let me create the relationship with ID and order ID from the orders table. See, if you see here, see, from orders table, I have selected order ID. From returns table, I have selected the ID. So let me delete all these things. So from ID, and let me take the count of this. Got my point?
Got it.
Yeah.
And,
So if I
essentially,
take, yeah.
yes. Who's talking? Sam, you want to go first?
no, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was saying that essentially what we are doing is, so the order ID is common. It's the common value in both the tables. That's
Yes,
how
correct.
okay. So the label can be different, but the values have to be matching, which is
Yeah,
fair,
like
which is how you will
see,
actually do it.
we have similar records in both, right? In order ID and
Got it.
ID, we have similar records.
Got it.
In that case,
Okay.
you can go for. I mean, it can be because the column names can be anything. It's not an issue.
Right. Okay.
See, I
Jitin,
have changed. Yeah.
yeah, go
Tell
ahead,
me.
please. You explain.
Yeah,
No,
please,
I mean,
please.
I had a question that, okay, so now in this case, we just have like one matching column. So we are, creating a relationship. What if there are two matching columns in both our tables? So like, does it
Yeah,
create a
that's
relationship
what I
between
was
both?
saying. Okay. So suppose
Okay.
if you have two matching columns, then in that case you can create, but I told you, right? We can create only one active relationship.
Okay.
So if
like
you have any
how
other
would it
column,
select it? How would it like say if I have customer name in returns table as well, and when we create a relationship, I mean essentially we are not really choosing any column to create a relationship with. It creates it by default based on the values. So in that case, like how does it choose
no,
that? Okay,
it's not like
yeah,
that. See, what I'm doing is, okay, see, it's not creating by default, but when you create the data, okay, by default it will identify some relationship. But see here, I am drag and dropping to this order
okay,
ID.
okay, got
It is not creating by default actually. See,
got it.
if you want to create on the basis of order ID, you have to drag and drop it. So it will create a relationship like this. If you check it here, okay, it is created on the basis of order ID and ID. Because I have
All
drag and drop to order ID, right?
understood.
If I change it to something else, okay, I'll delete it and create it order ID with customer ID. So if I go back to this particular thing and if I check the properties, see, it is created the relationship between order ID and customer ID and ID from the returns. Got it?
Yes, sorry, I missed that point earlier. Now I understood. Okay.
Yeah, and the second thing is, okay, so let me change it to order ID again. So if you want to change the relationship, okay, you can select, you just need to select that, okay, it will highlight that part. So now I have selected order ID and ID again. So why it is created one-to-many relationship? Did you understand why it is created one-to-many relationship?
So one is being used as the filter to get data across multiple
No.
fields. No?
For filtering, you can understand it from this direction, filtering direction. It's
Okay.
not related to the filtering. Filtering, okay, you can understand like the filtering happens from returns table to orders table by seeing this direction. Okay, it is in one way. It is in one direction.
Right.
But let me delete this.
Can you say the question? Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, I'll show it in this one. Okay, so there won't be any confusion for you. One second. So I have orders table and people table, right? I'm going to create a relationship between orders table and people table. So what is the common thing between these two tables, orders table and orders table and people table? See, we have region, right? Region in common.
Right.
So let me create the relationship between region and region from people and region from orders table. Yeah, so it has created a relationship, right? I mean to say from orders table, it has selected region, and people's table, we have selected region as well, right? We have created the relationship between these two tables. See, so why it is created one, here it is showing as one, here it is showing asterisk symbol. Did you understand why it is showing one here and star here?
Because I think in people's table, the region has unique values, but in orders table, every column, basically there are multiple values of each region.
Yeah, exactly.
And hence,
that's the difference. Okay. So here basically it is like, okay, here we have only unique values in this particular table. So it is like, so from one relation here we will be having only one particular value for this, right? For region. So that is why, that is the reason why it is showing us one. But here we'll be having many regions, right? Many values will be there. It is not unique. That is why it is showing us many. And basically it is star denotes, okay, it is many relationship. So one to many. Got my point?
Okay. No, Jitin, it's not clear. So in people table, we will have the region mapped to a person, and that will be unique, right? So one person can have one region. Is that what we're saying? So that is one-to-one entity relationship. But
no.
when
Yeah. So here, let me show you the data once. Yeah. 1 second. In people's table, if you see this people's table, okay, we have only four values. And if you see, everything is unique.
Correct.
But in orders table, if you see this, okay, see, we have region. See, if you see the region, West region, we have multiple rows for West region, right? See, we have multiple rows for the same thing.
But if, let's say, a person who is in East is placing an order, then will that order region also be East?
Tell me again. Repeat again.
So from the people's table, when I'm connecting to the orders table, I'm building a relationship. So if a person, let's say, person A who has a region East, when that person is mapped to the orders table, so for that particular order, the region will again be East, right? It will not be different.
See, yeah, that's correct. That's
so
correct.
Even the people table, because it has multiple people, it will also have across each person, it will have a unique value. What I'm saying is that in orders table also, each order ID will have a unique region value. It will not be one order has multiple regions, or is that the case?
But I'll show you an example here. Let me take order. You have said order ID, right?
Right.
See, order ID.
Right.
If I want to see, see the relationship between this table, okay, like I mean to say, who is the manager? Who was the manager related to this particular order ID? In that case, how will you? Because that particular column is not present in the orders table, right?
Right. So I'll do an entity relationship.
Yeah. First, what you have to do is, we have already established the relationship
right
on the basis of region. So it will create by default. Okay. Got it.
Right.
I mean to say, if I take this thing, see, here actually it is on the basis of region only. We have established the. Yeah.
I get your point. My point is that when you say that the people table has unique values of region and the orders table has multiple values, so that's why it's a one-to-many relationship. My question was that within the people table also, the region will have different values. Each value will be unique to a person, right?
Yes.
Similarly, in the orders table as well, there will be multiple values for region, but each order ID will have a unique region value, right? Because it's mapped to a person, unless the person is sitting in East and the order could also be sent to West. That's what I'm asking. Is that the case because of which the region will have multiple values?
So I didn't understand your question properly, but I'll tell you again. Okay. So basically, so you understand, right? Why we have created, why it is created one
Yeah,
to
it's
many.
just the one-to-many
Mhm.
relationship. Maybe we can do this after our session. We can take it offline so that we don't kind of waste
Sure,
time.
sure,
But
sure.
yeah, that's something that I want to discuss.
See,
Just to add to this, I mean, Gagan, so in the orders table, so any order from East is just not one order from the East region. There are multiple orders from the East region, multiple orders from the West region, and so on. But in the other table, it's just unique. It's just West, East, Central, and the fourth column. And that is why it's one to many, because you're connecting that one unique row with multiple East rows or West rows in the other table.
see here, if you see here, okay, in this table, see for West region, we have only one person, right? One manager.
Right.
This is basically a mapping kind of table. So in this table, we are not having any duplicates value.
Correct.
So this is like, okay, this particular table should have only unique values. It should not contain any duplicate values here. Okay.
Okay.
Then only we
Okay.
can create this kind of relationship, this kind of logical relationship.
Okay. So there could be multiple orders, like Sam said. So there
Yeah.
will be multiple. Okay. I think yeah, it's clear now.
Okay, but just okay, just try to understand it again. So if you see the relationship, okay, see, orders to people, it is showing many to one, right? That means from people to orders, it is one to many.
Correct. So
One
each
to
person can
many.
place more than one order, and that's how
Yeah.
the entries are. Fair
See,
enough.
if you
Got
see
it.
here, okay, we have many cardinality. Okay, we can select many to one to one, but it won't support everything. See, this cardinality you have selected is not valid for this relationship.
Okay.
Because it's
Because there
not
are
one to
multiple
one.
orders. Right.
Because if you select one to one, that is logically incorrect, right? Because here we have we have multiple regions, multiple rows for regions. We have many duplicates here in the orders table.
So Jatin, if there were only four entries in the orders table, each for one person, then one-to-one would be possible.
Tell me again.
If there were only four entries in the orders
Yes,
table,
then it's possible. Okay,
okay,
suppose
so I understood.
even orders
Got it.
table. Okay, I'll show you that example as well. I can show you that.
Okay. Sure.
So let me remove all the duplicates and show you that. Okay. So if I want to demo that particular thing, what I have to do is, see, we will do one thing. We'll go to region. We can remove duplicates. See, I have removed all the duplicates. Now we have only four values, right?
Right. So now this would be
So
possible.
if I go back to relationship, now I can establish one-to-one. Filter direction, we can keep both. That's fine.
Okay.
Now we can
it.
establish one-to-one relationship.
Fine, I understood it now. Thanks, Jatin. Thanks, Sam. It's clear now.
Because you understood, right? We have only unique values in both tables now.
Yeah.
So let me go back to this one again. Edit. PowerCore editor. Let me delete the last step. See, if I change to one to many, okay, like I have removed all duplicates, right? Column region in table orders contain a duplicate value West, and this is not allowed for columns on one side of a many to one relationship or columns that are used as the primary key of a table. We are getting an error over here, right? So it won't work actually. should be many to, it will be like in orders table. Now we have many rows, right? That means we have many duplicates as well in the region. So we have to select many to one relationship. We can select any cross filter direction over here. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's clear. And one more question, Jitin. So is it very common to use kind of monodirectional, single directional filtering or
It's
relationships,
always
or?
preferably we have to use single filtering direction. Okay.
Oh, okay, single. I thought
Because
both filtering. Okay.
there will be a lot of issues, like in data there will be a lot of data issues. I'll be showing it in coming sessions actually.
Okay.
If we go for bidirectional, okay, there will be a lot of issues with respect to data. I'll show you another example. Let me connect to one more data source once.
I was under the impression it will be bidirectional because it will make life easy. I didn't know
But
that.
in some cases we have to go for bidirectional.
Got it.
Suppose if you want to take something, see, see, if I take this one directional, okay, if I take this single direction, if I take anything from region and if I take anything from this particular, see, I'll show you. The value, sometimes some values will be correct. If I take anything from region, and so I have connected to people's table, right? If I take anything from person, see, now this is coming as correct. But if I take the count of this, it's wrong, right? It should be one. It should be one. Got my point?
Yeah.
I mean to say, so now because this is happening because the filtering direction is like, okay, people to orders. So if I change the direction to, because the filtering is not happening properly. If I change it to both, now it will be showing only one because it should be one, right? The filtering was not happening, okay, because as it was a single directional, as it is created a relationship from people to orders table. So we have taken the value from orders table and we have taken one of the value from people's table. So we are trying to filter from orders to people. It is against this particular direction. Am I right? See, it is, we were trying to so it was showing it so when we are selecting this, okay, it was showing wrong value, right? Wrong count. It was showing wrong. See, it is showing wrong count over here because there is no it is not filtering bidirectional way, okay. It is always filtering from person table to orders table. Got my point?
Right. But we can have another relationship which is from orders to
Yes.
people and then make that active in case we need it instead of bidirectional.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
See, we can use like see here it is one from orders table we have many, and people's table we have only one single unique values. You can change it accordingly, okay. If you have any, suppose if you have, see, many to many won't work because people's table we have unique values. One to many also won't work because in orders table one to many is nothing but in orders table we have multiple values. It is not unique. So if you select one to many, it won't work. One to one won't work because in orders table we have multiple values. Okay, so one to one is like it should be, the table should be unique. Both tables should be unique. Then only we can go for this. Many to one is like this is the only thing we can choose, right? because here we have duplicate values. Like here we have in region we have many duplicates. Duplicates in the sense we have many rows for south, whatever it is. Should be 1, 2 or more. Okay, it can be 1 as well. It's not a problem. I'll do one thing. I'll just show you another example so it will be more clear. Let me connect to PowerBI data. So from here, let me select dim product category, dim product subcategory, fact internet sales. So I have selected 4 tables, right? Yeah. So I have selected 4 tables and selected all those 4 tables. Yeah. So if you see the fields, yeah. So if you see here, I have 4 tables connect. I have total. I have 4 tables. And if I go back to relationship, see by default it created some relationship. If you see here, so if there is any common fields, okay, Power BI itself identifies some columns and it will create the relationship. It got, see, it identified some of the relationship. Okay, product key and product key. It is common in both tables, so it has created a relationship by default. So let me place everything like this so it will be easy for you to understand. See, so you understood, right? Like, see, by default it has created some relationship. Even if you see here, okay, it has created a relationship like product category key. Based on the column values, it identified some relationship between these values and it has identified, I mean, it has created the relationship by default. We can change it after this, okay? If you feel it is wrong, if you think, okay, it should be changed, you can change it from here. So what I'm trying to do is, see, I want to create relationship between all these 4 tables. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Let me show you that once. So this is all my measure values will be here in the facts internet sales. Dim product category. Yeah. Dim product subcategory. So it should be this direction. I'll explain it in last. Okay, just let me arrange it once. Yeah. So as I told you, okay, it should be in the same direction. See, if I see if it is starting from here, it should be from dim product category to dim product subcategory. Then it should flow to a dim product. Then it should flow to fact internet sales. The filtering direction should be in that manner. Then only we can create a correct logical order. When we use it in the visualization. Okay. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to handle it in the visualization. So first, okay. So it's already by default, it has created a relationship, right? Product key. On the basis of product key, it created a relationship. So here it is one-to-many relationship. And so let's make another relationship between these two tables. So what is the common item here? Product category key. Is it available here? Product subcategory key.
The product subcategories in both tables, right?
Yeah. See, if you see the direction, everything I have created in the same direction, right? It is flowing from dim product category to dim product subcategory, dim product subcategory to dim product, dim product. It is flowing to the fact internet sales. It is not against any direction. It is having a common direction. This is how we have to create the relationship. Otherwise, we won't be able to get the correct data, or the filtering won't be correct. Let me show you here. So what is the first common? If I select anything from dim product category, product category, dim product category, 1 second. Okay, let me select this. English product category name. Yeah. So I have selected category product category name. The values, just increase the size. Yeah. So I want to understand, okay, what's the sales of this? See, we are getting values here correctly, because why we are getting the correct values? See, I have taken a value from dim product category and sales volume from fact internet sales. Okay, because we have established the connection in such a way, like if you see here, it is in the same direction. That's why we are able to create relationship like this. So similarly, if I take anything from fact internet sales first, okay, fact internet sales. Yeah, let me take okay, and take order date. I'll just select the years. I have selected the year. Let me increase the size. Yeah, if I take anything from dim product category, that's the column, right? Dim product subcategory. Dim product subcategory. If I count anything from here, let me try to count anything from here. See, the value was coming correct because we have established the connection. But when you are creating a count or anything, okay, if you're trying to aggregate it, okay, you are getting the wrong value. You're getting it as 37. You understood why it is coming as 37 here? Because we have created we haven't created any filtering. We have specified the filtering direction here. Okay, we are taking it from the dim product category to it is in the same direction. We were taking it in the other type. We were trying to take the values from the opposite direction. That's why it is coming like this. If we keep it in bidirectional, okay, then it will be fine. But there will be a lot of issues, like there will be a lot of other data issues if you do it in that way. But depends upon the requirement, we have to change it. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, I get a sense of pros and
Okay,
cons. Absolutely.
I'll just send you this particular data set. You just try it from your system, like just try to create the relationship and work on it. Okay, so you'll get more understanding on it.
Sure, Jill.
But you understood, right, the filtering, why we have used this single direction, bi-direction, one to many, those kind of things you understood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And preferably if we want to create a good relationship between these tables, okay, it should be in the one direction. That you understood, right? Then only we can filter everything together. Okay, see, if I change this direction to, if I change this direction opposite way, okay, then we cannot filter anything from this particular table to the last table. We cannot create any relationship between this first table and last table. So that's the reason why we have created this relationship in single direction. Everything is flowing towards one direction. Got my point?
Yes, understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll send you this. But you just read other documents as well, okay, regarding this regarding this relationship. I'll send you another document as well, so you'll get more understanding on this.
Okay, then.
When you, so now it won't be much problem, okay, there won't be much issues. So when we start creating the measure, I told you, right, we have these options to create measure. For columns also it is fine. When we start using measures for some of the time intelligence functions, okay, suppose if it is then if the relationship is not established properly, then we won't be getting any values over there. We cannot create the measure at all if the relationship is not proper. So that's why it is very important, like we have to understand why do we need to use this particular relationship properly. I mean, we need to understand, okay, how to use this relationship properly. Okay, otherwise when we start using the measures, sometimes we cannot use that particular thing. Okay, we cannot use some of the calculations over there, because in some of the calculations it will take only unique values. It won't take if we have any duplicates in that particular thing, it won't take it. I mean to say, if you want to calculate on the basis of dim product category and fact internet sales, if the relationship is not established properly, then you won't be sometimes you won't be able to create measure at all. That kind of issues can happen. So yeah, in next session we'll talk more about creating columns, and we'll start with a DAX expression. Okay, we haven't started DAX expression. In next session onwards, we'll be I'll be showing this one as well, like how to create calculated column. We'll start calculated column and calculated measure as well. Any questions?
I think I'm fine for now, Jitin. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll be yeah. Just understand this part in more detail. Okay, like I'll send you a document. I'll just send it in WhatsApp. Just understand this part very clearly. because this will be very difficult. This will be very important for DAX expression. Okay.
Okay, Jitin. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
everyone.
you, Jatin. Yeah, thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye everyone.